I saw another day, all we do is scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, when you go away, it won't be as simple for you.
Yo guys, it is Old Man G here, back again with a post-match reaction. Arsenal 3, Manchester United 2. I'm kind of lost for words. I'm kind of was in how I actually react to this whole thing. I see some chats in, so let me just quickly get before I even get started. Shout out to, I think it's Durand NL on watching on Twitch, says crazy match that was. Honestly, deserved win for Arsenal, but sad Manchester fans to lose it in the 91st minute. Yeah, I think if I was to summarize, I think overall Arsenal deserved to win that game. I don't have a doubt about that. I think what's frustrating about the whole situation is two things. One, it would have been very interesting to see how United would have played if Casemiro was available, which he wasn't, thanks to Bruno and thanks to Ten Hag. And it would have been great to have seen a formation with Fred playing, which he wasn't because of Ten Hag. And I think that's what this title is kind of showing, because for me, over these two games, for me, in my opinion, because people are going to talk about McTominay being crap, they're going to talk about Wan-Bissaka at his back post, they're going to talk about all these different things. But the reality is, in my personal opinion, is that Ten Hag's game management over these two games was wrong. Ten Hag's game management was wrong. Over these two games, it was wrong. And it's not been good enough. And so I love Ten Hag. I think it's great. You know, he's still got a lot to learn. But bear in mind, it's his first season. But at the end of the day, in this game, both of the two games that we could easily have either drawn both games or won both games. Easily. But I genuinely believe that we dropped points in these two games primarily because of Ten Hag's game management, in my personal opinion. Shout out to King Sash for the super chat. Says he should have put Garnacho on. Well, we're going to talk about that, because for me, I'll briefly go through, the key moments in the game, but I want to really kind of focus on Ten Hag's game management, to be honest, because it's very easy. I'm sure a lot of people, on HG's channel and various places are going to sort of say, oh, this player did this player did that, this player is bad, why did they do this, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, of course they're going to do that. But in my opinion, you can't blame this all on the players, in my opinion. King Slash says, it's happened twice, we keep conceding. Exactly. So this is what I'm talking about, game management. We conceded 2 goals in the 91st minute. One against Palace, one against... So we could have easily had a win. We went from having 1 point in 6, potentially having 4 points in 6, with an Arsenal draw and a Crystal Palace win. You're thinking, maybe in a title race, potentially see what happens, to 1 out of 6 points. Obviously, we start with the game. Now, from the outset, that was not the right lineup. That was not the right lineup. I was very, 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 very surprised that Fred didn't start. I know Ten Hag earlier in the week said, "Oh yeah, we've got a plan. So we've beaten Arsenal before with, without Casemiro, we can do it again." But I assumed he'd learned from the Arsenal United game, because, to be honest, in the Arsenal United game, Arsenal were good. They dominated us for large periods of that game. They were really, really, really good. They were really good. And you know, the lesson from that game is not McTominay and Ericsson who could work in the midfield. I really hope. One thing I hope from today is that I really hope that I never see a McTominay. Like I was to the point where I was thinking, put on McFred. McFred is actually better than McErickson. McFred is actually better than McErickson. It is. They are. They are. Because at least Fred has the tenacity, the tackling, whatever you say. Maybe he doesn't have the ball, but he has that. Like, our midfield was just bypassing. Like, it reminded me of, like, City. Like, if we played that midfield against City, City would have destroyed us. There's a reason why they were able to come through our midfield throughout that first half, and probably worse in the second half, when it was just wave after wave after wave. And, you know, Eric's, McTominay's ball intentions is not good, although he's physical. But Ericsson defensively is not good. He's not. He's definitely not as good as Imagine Fred playing today and being told, right, just like he was against City, right, you focus on Odegaard and man mark him out the game like he did KDB. That's what I thought was going to happen. Instead, Ten Hag played McTominay, Ericsson, and Bruno. Terrible. That swayed the game. And from the start of the game, I was like, bro, guys, if you see my tweets from the beginning of the match, I looked at the lineup, I was like, and I called it like, we are not going to have the physicality. We are not going to have the physicality in this game. We are not. We are not going to have the physicality to be able to compete with Arsenal's midfield, especially the Arsenal midfield that has Partey back into the team. I said that. And lo and behold, in the first few minutes, I could see, I was like, we are getting dominated in this midfield. You need to change something. Now, almost against the run of play, I would say, Rashford scored a fantastic goal against, sending Partey back to Madrid. A fantastic goal, and you're thinking, okay, cool. Can we hold on to it? Can we do something? But the reality is that, like, and this goes into game management. We were 1-0 up. You're like, right, okay, at the very least, don't concede until the first half. We conceded. They equalized. Wan-Bissaka getting beat on the back post, but we know that. But again, 2 games in a row, and I know, and this is the thing, people are going to go on about Wan-Bissaka, but at the end of the day, there's no one else. And this is what I was saying, guys. This is what I've been saying so many times over and over again. Like, people say, oh, the squad is enough. Oh, it's enough. Oh, January. Oh, we're doing well. This happens every year, man. Every year when United have some glimmer of success, people think that the squad is enough because they assume every player is going to be fit and going to be available. They're not. They're not. So you need to be able to go into, like, we only signed Weghorst, who had an okay first half, to be fair. I don't think he deserved all the hate that he was getting. He occupied the centre-backs. But at the end of the day, you need backings, new signings. Arsenal have signed 3 players in January, but United can't. City is signing. You need Chelsea. You need signings. And I'm sorry, but if any United fan thinks that United are de facto getting top 4, we're only 6 points ahead of, in 2 games. Oh, we're 5. I know Tottenham are garbage, but we're only 2. We're literally only 2 points. 2 points ahead of. 6 points ahead of Spurs, and that can change. Although we've got a decent run in, I think, afterwards. But you have injuries, and then problems happen. But yeah, game management. That is the moral of this film. I can talk about the fact that, obviously, Nketiah back post. Shout out to Nketiah. I'll give it credit to Nketiah, man. Nketiah really did have a good game today and has improved massively. People are bantering the kid, Nketiah, but Nketiah has improved massively. He's improved a lot. But it's 1-1. Saka then scores a fantastic goal. We couldn't, but again, If you look at that, what was it? Eriksson wasn't tight enough. Let him score. If Fred is in that position, Fred doesn't allow that, or at the very least, Fred fouls him or gets a tackle or something like that. Even if the free kick goes in, he's at least done something. You know? Then, almost by fortitude again against one play, we get from a corner. Martinez then heads it, intelligent headed by Martinez, and you're thinking happy days. You know, but you know, at the end of the day, like, it's the 90th minute, game management, how we conceded that third goal. Like, Ten Hag, you know, you like, for starters, bringing on Fred should have come on probably within the first half when you saw what's going on. You could make an argument at the very least in the beginning of the first half. Fred should have definitely been on. And it's criminal, and I think Sammy mentions it. It was totally criminal for Garnacho not to come on. I have no idea why Garnacho did not come on today. Can someone explain to me in chat, why did Garnacho not come on? So Ten Hag really thought that McTominay was going to do something. The Rashford, as good as he was, he didn't have a terrible game, you know, but that he could do it by himself? Like, really? Like, literally, like, I don't get it. Like, why did he not bring on Garnacho to at least relieve the pressure? So you're like, right, okay, get the ball to Garnacho. He's got pace. He can run at the defenders. He can dribble. He can do something. He didn't do that. The only sub we made was Fred. And we made that sub after about 69 minutes, I think. What was that? So in my mind, Ten Hag saying that starting 11 was fine. Really? That starting 11? I know we didn't have Casemiro, we didn't have Martial, we didn't have all those other sort of things, but come on, guys. Come on. I don't know. King's Edge again says Rashford sent Odegaard back to Real Madrid with that goal. He did. So it wasn't Odegaard, it was Partey, wasn't it? It was Partey. Wisky, I see you in the background, man. I'll bring you in a second, man. Just quick with his comments. Yo, what's up, SMB? Damn, what a game. What I will say about this game was that it was very reminiscent of the old school Wenger Sir Alex games. Both teams really going at it. And it was overall, it was an entertaining game. And when you compare this game to Liverpool-Chelsea, it is painfully obvious that Liverpool, United and Arsenal are way ahead of Liverpool and Chelsea. It's just painfully obvious. Even though we lost today, I'm not worried. Looking at this performance, unless we get multiple injuries and somehow Liverpool and Chelsea win all their games up until the end, I'm not. I'm confident that United should at least finish ahead of Liverpool and Chelsea, especially with 10 points clear. We'll see. Maybe I've jinxed it. I don't know. No, Garnacho. Yeah, so yeah, said that Liverpool is the team that could catch you. Nah, Sammy. Like I said, not after the game that I watched yesterday. I watched that game and I was seeing Chelsea. I mean, it deserved to be a draw, but to see Chelsea pretty much, like, I wouldn't say dominate, but they had more chances than Liverpool had. Unless Diaz or whoever else comes, or they make some key signings. To be honest, I expect United to go to Anfield and not lose. Minimum draw, but definitely not lose. We shouldn't be losing. If we're playing against that Liverpool team, United shouldn't be losing that game, in my personal opinion. And Nketiah put up Chelsea Academy, great game from him. He was. I think you probably would. Somali Flame, you probably could have used him, to be honest. RDS, Anthony, wow. All his points of criticism for his tricks have indicated. I mean, I'll say this about Anthony, two things. The first thing is that I already know he's incredibly one-footed. So we know that. The second thing is that it's his first season. So let's see, betting into team. But the third thing is also, what are the options? What exactly are the options? You know, Sancho, maybe we might be able to get some benefit from Sancho coming back, potentially. You know, we signed how many right wingers, potentially, Ahmad, all the rest of it. We're now relying on Anthony. And then what? You're going to shaft Bruno out to the right wing? Garnacho, that's not really his position. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm trying to say. That I don't really want to blame any of the players today because, to be honest, over these last two games, the Palace and this game, for me, United could have easily had 4 from 6, which would have been good. They got 1 from 6, and I blame that due to Ten Hag's game management. Like, we conceded against Palace, but to be fair, Palace were on the ascendancy for the last 30 minutes. And Ten Hag was late to react. And here again, Arsenal in the ascendancy from the get-go dominated our midfield, which we needed to try and hold on to the game. And he brings on Fred in 69 minutes. So what Ten Hag is telling me is that he thinks that McTominay is a better. Like, I don't get it. Because he didn't play McTominay against City and we won. But for some reason, he plays McTominay and Eriksen there, and he thinks that we're gonna. I don't get it. I don't get it. To be fair, Eriksen blocked the second shot that Saka attempted to, same as when he scored. Yeah, I'm not saying that. But the thing is that he did that, but like it's the mid. We lost the game because of the mid of fundamentality for me of the midfield. People can focus on Wan-Bissaka and about. At the end of the day, Arsenal were creating opportunities all the time. So you stop that chance creation, in my opinion, by having some foothold in the midfield. And we didn't have any foothold in the midfield. We didn't. You know, and it's annoying because we had a player at the very least in Fred who could break up the play, who could disrupt things, niggles, fouls, towels, etc. McTominay and Eriksen aren't going to do that. Especially not Eriksen. Eriksen is a defensive liability, in my opinion. Smiley Flame, when it's 2-2, yeah, exactly. But it is what it is. He came on at 91. Yeah, well, yeah. But 91 minutes is, you know, what? Garnacho was put in for Varane, but it was like how Ten Hag treat Cristiano. What was Garnacho supposed to do? Exactly. What was Garnacho supposed to do in 3 minutes time? Like literally, you got your team has been basically been being assaulted over and over and over again. They're probably tired. Arsenal made, I think, 3 subs, and you could even see the Trossard sub that impacted them. Why didn't we do it? I don't know. 1-0 Arsenal winning over Juve. Well, Juve have their own problems right now. They have their own problems. Sure, yes, Chelsea should have won at Anfield. I expect United to win in 2. Yeah. Liverpool are not like in their current form are not a threat to me right now. In fact, I mean, if I even look at the fixtures, because obviously there's let's have a look here. Yeah, Liverpool away to Wolves. I actually think looking at that, if I look at these, I think right, Chelsea, Fulham. Possibly Chelsea might drop points again. We'll see. The Modric and I think João Felix is still out for this game, so might drop points there. Liverpool against Wolves. Again, potentially will drop points there. United, Crystal Palace. We should have learned our lesson, and Casemiro will be back and we'll be able to actually play football now that all the yellow cards have been done. Then we play Leeds. I assume that was a rescheduled game potentially, but you know. There's definitely points, as you can see, for Liverpool to drop. I mean, even this, you've got the Merseyside derby as well, you know, so we'll see what happens. Let me just bring in my man Yasir in. And there's Hoofball in. I mean, actually, let me give you David T, who says, I was pissed. I am still pissed, but our fans seem to okay with it. Given that they trust me, I'm fine with it. Shaw's always backing off Saka. Amza fell asleep in a crucial moment. Davide's distribution was suspect again. Like I said, I if I'm honest, like I said, a lot of people are blaming the players, and that's fine. There was individual mistakes, but if I'm perfectly honest, I still hold. It's not me saying I'm Ten Hag out or some stupid nonsense like that, but game management is important as a manager. It is, and it's no coincidence that you concede 2 goals, one against Palace, one against Arsenal in the 90 in additional time. Why is that? Why is that? For different reasons, I'll say in the Palace and in the Finney game for different reasons, but Ten Hag's game management has not been good, and it's cost us. Not necessarily top 4, but we'll see. The Butcher and Varane were actually good today, though, and you still let 3 in. That's true, exactly. But the goals weren't because of Varane or they were mostly because of our fullbacks. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm just annoyed. I'm really annoyed right now. Let me bring in the crew, Yassir and Hoofball FC, who I'm assuming is an Arsenal fan. But let's just have a look. Let me bring in. Okay. Right. Yassir, bro, how you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. It was a tough game. Tough game. I, I don't know. I don't. I feel like it's very unfair to be that too critical. Like, I feel like as much as I understand your you know, what you said about Ten Hag,
Hmm.
I don't know. I there was a point in the game where we were just hanging on.
But you got,
We were just
but
hanging on
Yassir,
for dear
Yassir,
life.
Yassir, come on. You can't like we saw from the beginning of the game how much control, especially in the midfield, that Arsenal had. Like I was already a bit suspect about the starting. Was like, okay, whatever, fine. But at the very least, even in the beginning of the second half, you're thinking maybe I need to bring on Fred for Anthony, let's say. And then maybe 65 minutes, I need to bring on Garnacho to do something to relieve. Because Garnacho is a dribbler. He can dribble. He's got pace. He can run at the defenders. Both of those players could have, at the very least, relieved some pressure for Manchester United. But the fact that he only brought on Fred at 69 minutes with 20 minutes to go. And then he brings on Garnacho at the 91st minute. To do what?
No, I think the Garnacho sub was the fact that we conceded a goal. So at that point, he didn't even have a choice. He brought on another attacker. But honestly speaking, you look at if I'm being real, he doesn't really have much choices and a lot of good ones either. That's just the honest truth. Fred came on the pitch in the 69 minute. Fred didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. We lost. It's weird because I felt like we lost more control when Anthony left and Fred came on. It seemed like we lost more control. Because if you look back at the game, where did we lose the game? We lost the game from around the 70th minute. As soon as we made that substitution, and towards the end of the game, Arsenal dominated us for 20 minutes straight. They do, and I. One thing I will say to you is I love Awan Basaka. I love Luke Shaw, but sometimes I feel like we do need better. I feel like we lost that game because of our wingbacks today. I feel like
Hmm?
Wan-Bissaka, as good as he was, Wan-Bissaka is an amazing 1v1 defender. He is. Because he pretty much locked down Martinelli.
Hmm.
But positional sense, especially on the first goal, it was criminal.
But we
I,
were, but we were, but we were creating. 'Cause it was the same thing that happened. I mean, when did no, Weghorst was still on the field.
mhm.
Like we, if I'm perfectly honest, I think the frustrating thing about it is that if Martial and Casemiro was fit, I think we could have won that game
Yeah.
based on what they bring into the team. But obviously, that's not how football works. And to be fair, we still only lost 3-2, almost at a draw.
But RDS, look at this. Look at this though. Look
Mm,
what you just said. We lose Martial. We have Veghorst.
mm,
I don't think he had a bad game today, but
no.
he's not Eddie Nketiah.
Mm,
Like they lose Gabriel Jesus, they have Nketiah.
mm,
Martinelli was not playing well today. They brought on Trossard, and Trossard was involved in
exactly.
that third goal.
Yeah.
So I mean, as much as we say like we want to blame Ten Hag for not
No,
bringing on,
no. They've at the end of the day, they've. I think the thing I said at the start, which I made key, was that like this is why
it's marginal.
it's
It's marginal.
it's
Like
marginal, but
yeah,
this is why United needs to be backed with these
yeah.
situations. This is why United needs to be backed in the January transfer window, because Arsenal fighting for a league. They've made 3 signings already in January, and one of them was literally just to debut in Trossard. United have made a loan signing, Weghorst, who's he's fine, is okay, but outside of that, but we've still taken a negative
Hmm.
because key players, Donny van der Beek is out till the rest of the season. who potentially may even play today in the midfield. Potentially, I'm not saying he would, but potentially he would. It might have been Eriksson and Donny van der Beek, for example, or Donny van der Beek and McTominay, for example, who at least is a lot more physical, in my opinion, than Eriksson. You don't know, but at the end, it's an option. Martial's injury, we don't know when he's coming back. Dalot has picked up an injury. We don't know when they're coming back. So we've got 4 players out already that are injured, who haven't had recurrent injuries, don't know coming back. And the only person we brought in, bearing in mind we let a lot of players go in the summer, is Weghorst. So, you know, the frustration is that, like, once again, United are in a good position. They're not being backed, and even though I think top 4 should be the goal this season, all it takes is another few injuries to other key players, and you're where Liverpool and Chelsea are.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We have our biggest issue. Our biggest issue is a lack of goal threat. We cannot score goals. The only player we have that can score goals in
Rashford's goal was good though. Let's
yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, the only player we have that can score consistently is Rashford. And the issue with that is you put unnecessary pressure on Rashford. Rashford becomes a more dangerous player if we have a better front line. If we had Anthony that was more dangerous, that will free up Rashford. But the issue is when, for example, like the Crystal Palace game, Rashford didn't have a good game, but Crystal Palace had a game plan for Rashford. And Man United, we didn't. There was no help. There was absolutely no help, and it's not sustainable. Like, Rashford is a fantastic player, and he probably could keep scoring. But when he doesn't score, who else is going to score for us? Like, let's be honest, that Martinez goal that was a random goal. That was it was a couple of header bounce up. Martinez scores, and I'm like, wow. And the fact, so we got back in the game 2-2. But overall, if you look at that game, especially the last 20 minutes.
Why didn't he bring on Garnacho though? I don't know why he didn't bring Garnacho.
I think the issue is, I feel like the fact that we lack options, the fan base wants to see Garnacho every time. But what I think Ten Hag is trying to do is he's trying to manage him. That's the only thing I could. That's the only excuse I could come up with, because I think with Ten Hag, what he's trying to do is, like, you know what, Garnacho, you're good, you're a fantastic player, but he doesn't want the kid's confidence to be derailed. As an 18-year-old, you have to manage him, and I think that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to manage him. He's trying to give him opportunities, and he's taking advantage of those opportunities, and he's trying to bleed in a little bit by bit by bit. He just doesn't want him to, like, toss him in there, and at that age, once their confidence goes, it's hard for them to recover it. So I think that's what he's trying to do with Garnacho, and the issue is, because we don't have enough forwards, we don't have enough attacking options. The fan base are very irritated when he doesn't bring on Garnacho. So, and the issue is, Anthony's a massive issue. It's a massive issue because we need him to do well. We need
I mean, the only potential. The only light I see on the tunnel with the whole right-sided situation is that, one, Sancho is obviously coming back, so that's a positive, and two, Ahmad seems to be doing bits in Son and stuff like that. So I'm not saying that Ahmad is going to be a world-class beat or something like that, but the point is that, like, he's to be honest, I wouldn't actually mind Ahmad coming, recalling Ahmad, at least having an option potentially, So,
The issue is, and this is why I really wanted Jadon Sancho to play on the right. And this is why I always advocated, because the issue.
Sorry, Yassi, 1 second. I'm just going to bring in Filthy Fellas and Arsenal fan, and I'll come to you, Hoofball. So, because I know he wants his 2 minutes of fame. Let me bring on this Filthy Fellas, bro. Filthy Fellas, man. Hey.
Yo.
Who's an Arsenal fan, So how you? Congratulations on the win.
Yeah.
And obviously Saka and nketiah. So, yeah, like, are you guys now confident that you can go on and win the title and stuff like that?
No, it's still only halfway through the season. But I remember discussing with Old Man G a couple of maybe like a week around Christmas time, New Year's, and we were talking about the run of games. And I think it was West Ham, Brighton, Newcastle, Spurs, then United. And I think those, because after that, obviously we've got to play City 2 times, but that's
Yeah.
like a hard run of games. You see what Brighton did to Liverpool, even what Brighton did to us. The game ended 4-3. They still scored 3 goals against us. And Newcastle draw, bit of an unlucky result. Maybe could have got a penalty our way at the end. And then the Spurs and United, didn't really expect to beat United, to be honest, because United just pulled this form out of nowhere. They're playing well right now. But I think with Casemiro being injured, I kind of thought to myself, this is the time we have to beat them, I feel like Man United midfield was a little bit weak. Maybe you could have put Fred in there with McTominay instead of Eriksen. Bruno was kind of went a bit missing today. Rashford just, being in an amazing form. But I think I think both, I would say United fans would say that Arsenal deserved the result today. And I think it's in the ball's in our court now, We've beaten some good teams this season. And as long as we keep beating what's in front of us, crucial games against City, then there's no reason we can't go on to complete and win the league. So I'm happy. I'm buzzing. It was a tough game. You guys played well, but I think you just let us dominate in the second half, and that was the problem.
Thank you for probably, like, for those who are watching, that's probably the most level-headed, fair assessment coming from an Arsenal fan of this game completely. Because I know if I go to AFTV, I'm gonna hear some bare nonsense. Although they deserve it because of all the pain that they've had. But I think overall that's a very good summary of the game, because you're right. I think any United fan saying that Arsenal didn't deserve to win, I think every sane United, and in fact, Red Devil 92, shout out 92, says we deserve to lose. Last 25 minutes did absolutely nothing to try and win. Just sat back and let them attack. Only one sub in 90 minutes. Yeah, and like I said, for me personally, I blame Ten Hag's game management for that. Yes, there is an argument that we didn't have any particular options on the bench, but like I said, I still don't understand why Garnacho couldn't play. Even though you might say to protect him,
because he brought off Anthony, right?
Yeah, Anthony for Fred.
Yeah, because Anthony was poor, and I was thinking, well, okay, maybe you want to defend the lead, but Garnacho could have been brought on. He definitely could have been brought on. But you guys did well. I think a draw, like Roy Keane was saying, it was looking. If it was a draw, both teams would have been. Also would have been disappointed, but you still would have taken a draw with how many minutes to go. I was thinking to myself, you know what? A draw isn't so bad because United are playing very, very well right now. And a draw, okay, you guys scored first as well, and then we brought it back, and then we were ahead, and then you guys scored again. So honestly, I would have taken a draw. But the difference between Arsenal this season and Arsenal in the last, 10, 15 years is that there's something added to it. They would talk, who was it? Cesc Fabregas, he was at the training ground, and he was talking about Arteta has changed everything, like in terms of the infrastructure, the even little motivational messages. And I think as you walk into the Emirates, there's some kind of like empty, where the Premier League should be, like a case or symbol or something like that. And it's as if to say, like, if you want it, you can put that there yourself, as you enter the Emirates. So it seems Arteta has changed, like almost like the toxic mindset of the club. All these AFTV kind of people and troops and all those like wastemen. Like, he's changed the mindset, and I'm happy for that. It's taken a long process, Actually, to be honest, not that long. Let's be honest, because
3 years, 3
way
seasons.
less.
Yeah, no, three seasons. I think from where Arsenal were, I think it's very, very good.
And I think, let's be honest, like no one expected Arsenal to be in this position, and also I think he's way ahead of his plan, whatever his process is. I think he's way beyond that. He didn't even expect it to end up like this so far. So I'm heading off now. I got to eat my food. I got some jollof rice, some pub. So I need to eat my food. I'm hungry. But
of course.
Commiserations, United fans. You guys played well. I think personally, I think the draw and Casemiro getting that yellow at Palace. You guys were like up here. I kind of think it made you. You were on a high, like the past couple of results, the City game, everything. You were up there, and then it kind of maybe that was a bit of a dagger, you know. But I don't know what your run of games is now, but as long as Rashford stays fit, Weghorst, his link-up play was good to me today. I don't know what you guys think. I thought he was all right, but
no.
you guys will be all right anyway. You're definitely getting top 4, but league.
Are you sure Chelsea and Liverpool won't have a chance here? You don't think?
I mean, nah. Liverpool definitely not. Chelsea have strengthened a lot. I like, even though I don't want to be salty, but that Mudryk guy, he looks all right. To be fair, he looks decent. And João Felix got a red card and was the best player in that game. He got the red card, so they've definitely strengthened. Chelsea, I think it's still going to be hard for them to get top 4 because if you look at what's in front of them, Newcastle don't lose. So Newcastle don't drop that many points. I think Newcastle have got enough quality. But yeah, that's maybe for another podcast. But nice to meet everyone. Hope you have a good evening, and I'm going to eat my food. Enjoy the rest of your stream, old man G.
Thank you, Filthy. Peace. Thanks, bro, man. See you in a bit. See you. Seeing as we've got the Oscar on, so before I come to J2S, H7, man, congratulations, buddy. Well done on a good win. Do you have anything to add to what Filthy was saying as an Arsenal fan, just in terms of the overall Arsenal performance and going forward?
Yeah, man. I'll be real with you. I'm happy with the win, but I'm not happy with the scoreline, if that makes sense. Because I did not feel like it was a 3-2 game, but as a United, it's part of the United history, man. Even when sometimes you don't deserve to even be in a game, you're somehow still in the game, and you always have a chance to win it. Because the way we won it, you guys could have even won that game if we're being real. You guys even had a corner when it was like 2-2. You guys could have got that winning goal. But I'm happy with the win. That's all I care about. I actually wanted a smashing, but sometimes you don't get what you want in life, innit? So it is what it is.
I mean, you know, I was going to say Arsenal fans that, like, you know, without Casemiro, Martial, and all those players, etc. You know, so the fact that like I do believe that it might potentially could have been a different story had Casemiro been in that midfield, had Martial been playing, etc. You know, so the fact that you still were able to get the win, and just about get the win, shows you this, to a certain extent, the improvement that Ten Hag has made in this team, but also the resilience that Arsenal has obviously shown, despite the fact that they went a goal down first, then obviously equalize, and then to still obviously sort of come back in. Do you think that now, because I said earlier as a prediction that the biggest test for Arsenal is going to be United at the Emirates and then obviously Spurs away, and if they can get through those games, they'll have a lot of momentum going into the City back-to-backs. Do you think that this gives them momentum to go into that game? I know you can't.
Yeah, I think the whole season we kind of had momentum. I think it started from pre-season. I don't think it just started like just as the season gone by. Like, I think this is something that started from the summer and it's continued. Like we've just been winning games. I think since summer till now, I think we've only lost like 3 games, if I'm right.
Okay.
And that's Brighton, PSV, and you lot, Man United.
Yeah.
Those 3 games. The rest, and I think we drew 2 games, so we've only like not won 5 games, and I think we probably played like more than 20-something games. So I think we've had momentum this whole season because we're like, if you think about it, last season our goal wasn't even to get top 4. That's why we didn't buy anyone in January. Our club was happy with where we was. They were happy to even finish 5th, even in the way, the fashion we did. So now we're ending up being in a title race. I don't, as everyone, you know how everyone's saying the pressure's on Arsenal, or he's 2 points behind. I don't think that's in the player's mind. I said this yesterday on the stream. I think these guys are just having fun right now. They're just trying to play football. They're just trying to win games. Just trying to see how much points they can pick up. If they win the title, they win. If they don't, they don't. So I think that's how we're going to even approach the City game. We're not going to approach it like the pressure is on us. We're going to approach it as the pressure is on City. They're the ones that are going to have to win the game, especially both games. If they want to, because you know City, they love picking up cups as much as they like picking up Prems. So they're going to want to win that FA Cup game. So I know they're going to have a strong lineup. I know KDB, Haaland's going to play that game. Except you get it, like Mahrez probably going to play that game. So I think even Arteta might go kind of strong. I think he'll go for the same midfield and keep the same back four as well, and the goalkeeper. And even I think Trossard's going to come in, because shout out to Martinelli, you've been having a good season, my guy, but I'm keeping it real. Trossard is better than you, bro.
Well,
And
there's depth.
No,
that's what Jeff gives you.
Is depth, but he is a better player than him, bro, because he knows his game. He's a 28-year-old. He's in his prime. He knows what he's good at. He knows what he's not. And right now, that's what we need. Martinelli, you've done your thing for us this season, but Europa League, FA Cup games, and coming off the bench, excellent. I'd happy coming off the bench for in the Prem games, but I'd want to see Trossard starting games from now on.
Fair. Let me just quick go read some comments, and I'll come to J2S. Where are we?
Yo, RDS, I had to leave, bro.
We have to head up. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Take it, YSK, man. Thanks for coming on, man. Seen a bit. Let me just quickly. Okay, yeah. So David T. I still think we make it into top 4, but it hurts to lose this way. I agree. Ten Hag has to do better as well. King says, I think Anthony should actually have stayed on. Weghorst should have gone off. If we had Rashford in the middle as a striker, Garnacho and Anthony in the second half, the counter attack was on. That's fair. Potentially that could have worked. I'm not sure. It's difficult, really. I mean, to be honest, United need a fit number 9, a pacey fit number 9. That's why you should go all out for Osimhen, or even Kane, but definitely a regular fit number 9 in the summer. Like, we can't keep on relying on half measures. It's actually getting really, really frustrating. Eriksen wasn't a good fit for the game. We had Weghorst and not one cross into him, even on corners. We were crossing low and into answer players. That is very true. And to be honest, that comes from the fullbacks, who in my opinion both were very poor today. And I said I don't know what Rashford and Anthony were doing in that respect. So yeah, no service. Shout out to Christian Hollerman. I read that. Rich says he agrees. Shout out to Rich. Hope you're doing well, buddy. The game conquers the game show we developed. It also showed who needs to leave this club and who are bench players. Fred should have come on, and the Arsenal wingers started cutting in, and Garnacho on 65. It's essentially what I'm alluding to, what I'm saying. Also, why not give Plestri a go 10-15 minutes? I know Anthony is good defensively, but when you are losing, you want to be more direct. That is true. Anthony attacking wise, to be honest, in the last couple of games, yes, he scored occasional goals, but aside from those moments, he's not really giving me that much confidence. But we'll see what happens. Did anyone know to mention that? Yes, that is inability to play out from the back. Yes, and to invite us pressure. And I think, and this is the thing, I think, especially when we play against teams that do press us, as Arsenal were doing. City did, but they didn't do it as Arsenal. This is the first time I've seen a team really press us a lot this season. Arsenal pressed us. It's probably the most pressing team that we've had, and De Gea just can't do with that, unfortunately. City kind of did a little bit at Old Trafford, but not as much as Arsenal, in my opinion. Nowhere near as much. Thankfully, we played Arsenal twice. We played City twice, so we don't have to play those teams again. And hopefully, the game should be easy from now. I think we have to go to St. James's Park, though. Don Smoke says, man, a bunch of useless neighbors. Win a UCL, Don Smoke. That's all I'm saying. Casemiro project Eriksen's flaws. We complain about Pogba not being able to defend. It's the same as Eriksen. Yeah, defensively, he's not great. Weghorst was horrendous. Lucas thinks Arsenal deserves to win. As United fans, second half pressure, Arsenal should win. Yeah, I agree, dude. Shout out to Rasmus as well. And Rasmus says, Anthony was such a waste of space. So many misplaced passes, especially when on counter. One of those passes making it through could have made a big difference. Well, the only thing I'll say is that, like I said, Sancho, I want to see, because obviously we've got the next 3 games are basically the Carabao Cup home and away and the Reading. I think that if Sancho is training regularly with the first team, we need to play Sancho in those 3 games to get him up to match fitness. Well done, Arteta. Keep going, Arsenal. Yes, of course. Coy, Trossard with those feet. Well, United could have gone for Trossard. You could have. And Samasi lastly says, hello, 2 losses in a row. Unlucky Ganacho's coming sooner. But this Ten Hag first year, so I think it'll be Getty. Yeah, exactly. And Sancho will come back. Now, after those comments, J2S has been waiting for ages, bro. Sorry about that, buddy.
Yeah, it's all right.
Have your take. What were your thoughts on this whole thing?
I mean, I was really surprised with that, especially the first off, because we went toe to toe with Arsenal without Casemiro, which I was very surprised because I saw McTominay and Eriksen. I thought, oh, this is going to be like another Man City. They're just going to go straight through the midfield, straight into our defense with Martinez, straight in the air. Because Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw today were Luke Shaw defensively and attacking was not it. However, Wan-Bissaka was good defensively, but attacking wise didn't really offer much. And that first goal when Eddie Nketiah scored the header, he let him run in front. He did the same thing against, I think it was Man City and Grealish. He let him get ahead of the man and scored. But there's some positives to take through this match compared to this is different. This Palace and this Arsenal match have the same feeling because so close, and yeah, it's just taken away. Because we played well, but I think Ten Hag's in-game management for the last 2 games, when it's come to the last 15, 20 minutes, it's been a bit poor.
Yeah.
Because Casemiro should never stayed on for that long in the first match. And today, Bruno on the right was not, and putting him in midfield was not it, because we needed to relieve the pressure because it was just Rashford running in behind. We needed either Garnacho or even bring on Alanga, just for the pace.
Exactly.
Just knock it upfield. Because that last 15 minutes, constant attack after attack after attack. It was coming. It was always coming.
Exactly. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like this. The thing that frustrated me in the last 2 games is that it could have easily been like say 4 out of 6. Instead, it's obviously 1 out of 6. And you're right, as you just mentioned. Game management. Casemiro would have played onto, so he's got a yellow card. You see, it's important. He didn't have to. Yes, to 1 up. He didn't have to play. Because I think it was it 75 minutes when he got the yellow card. I think something like
about
that.
70.
Fred was, I don't know, and the thing is, Fred wasn't even coming on for him. Fred was coming on for somebody else. So it's like
you could have Anthony.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, so you mean to tell me that you're going to play Casemiro for 90 minutes and not Fred? Fred showed to me. I know Justice said before then that Fred didn't do sort of anything, but clearly against City, he was told to man mark KDB out of the game.
Yeah.
Now I assumed that he would have done the same thing for against Arsenal, but with Odegaard.
Yeah.
Fred on, you make sure you man mark Odegaard out of the game so he doesn't create anything like that. He didn't do that, so it was a bit strange. But sorry, go on.
Even when Fred came on today, that's because Luke Shaw was getting bullied by Saka all game. Because having Eriksen as defensive cover is not it at all. McTominay's too slow, and he doesn't have any technical ability.
No,
he's just a lump. That's what it is. He's like a Maguire.
No,
but Eriksen's.
So go on.
Eriksen's at number 10. He's an attacking mid, but playing him so deep.
No,
he hasn't got that physicality. He can't tackle.
No, exactly. Yeah. And for that second goal, he didn't. So yeah, I think that going forward, because obviously Casemiro will be back, so it's just a 1-game ban. But as far as I'm concerned, like you go back to the midfield of the best midfield is Casemiro, Fred, Eriksen, and then if you want to shaft up Bruno to the right, you can, and just play that way. Do that, or you can play Bruno in front of Fred. I don't know, whichever, but. You have to play for me, Casemiro and Fred, for the physicality, and obviously Casemiro's technical ability and his ability on the ball is something else, But so I mean, I guess lastly, like I'll come to H7 and then back to J2S. Like, where does for H7? I think the question is like, where do Arsenal go from here, and do you see Arsenal dropping any points, like any remaining points into the remainder of this season?
I need to see us play Man City home and away first. Then I can tell you where we're going, because yes, we passed a lot of tests, but those are going to be the two biggest tests. If we can beat them at the Emirates and at best get a draw away, then I think we win the title. Because what we've done well this season is our home record is actually better than City's. They've dropped points against Bournemouth? I don't know. I think they've dropped points against like a couple teams at home already. Everton.
It was
Everton and Brentford.
Brentford and Villa,
yeah. And we've only done it to Newcastle. And to be honest, we actually should have won that game. We should have had 2 penalties, but it is what it is.
And Newcastle tend to be fair to them, they haven't conceded that many goals. They don't tend to lose many games, so they're difficult to beat. So, but yeah, that is what it is.
Yeah, but at the same time, we still got to go Anfield away. Yeah, Liverpool are shit, but those are the kind of games that I get up for. They come Arsenal always. Anytime we come up to them, even if we're good or not, I don't know what it is. Is it what we've done to them in '89 or something? I don't know what it is. They still remember that, but
yeah,
they always get up for us. And we've got to go Newcastle away. That there's still some grounds we have to go to that are still tough. And I don't know about this Europa League. Are they going to take it seriously? Because we've actually been building like I wouldn't say a decent backup team, but we've actually got like a good backup team now. Like guys you can rotate in attack, in the midfield, and even in defense as well. So I don't know if they're going to take Europa League and the FA Cup seriously, if that's going to stretch our squad out and we start picking up injuries. So yeah.
Fair enough. And J2S, before I come to AD, J2S, is it time to would you start to get a little bit concerned if you're United, or do you think, listen, United still have enough right now to be able to at the very least secure top 4 or achieve what they need to achieve this season?
Yeah, I think we've got enough to secure top 4, because we can't trust the likes of Tottenham, Liverpool, and Chelsea to be consistent. Maybe Chelsea, I don't know. Maybe there's something there.
Where are they? Let me give me a second. Let me scroll down to I haven't seen them for a while. Here. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, man. They're not catching up.
Big Bro is 10th, man. Big Bro is 10th.
At this rate, I think Haaland might have more goals than Chelsea have points.
Wait, let me. So how many points are Arsenal ahead of Chelsea? Let me see. So 29 points.
50.
Arsenal have 50. So that's what? That's 21 points. That's what.
No.
21, isn't
21.
it? Yeah.
21, yeah.
And that's having still got a game to play as well. Jeez.
And that's at Everton at home, because before it was Man City at home, the game in hand, but because they played who did they play midweek? Spurs. Now we got to play Everton at home, so that's a 3 points in my opinion already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lampard's not going to do anything, or Everton in general not going to do anything.
Yeah.
That's bad.
This is the times. Everton only turn up against United.
Sean Dyche. We're gonna see him back in the Prem soon, guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah. To be fair, guys, can I say something?
Yeah. Go on, AD. Yeah, AD's been going.
Wait, where's the game? Where's Everton Arsenal? Is that at Goodison Park, Emirates?
That's at Goodison, I think.
No, that's
actually no.
That's at the Emirates, actually.
Wait,
no, it's at Goodison here.
Yeah, that's not our game in hand. That's the one we're supposed to play already. I think we're playing back. Our game in hand is actually Everton at home. It was when the Queen.
Okay.
I see. So when did they rescheduled it for?
I don't know. I don't know if it's been rescheduled.
I think some of the fixtures aren't scheduled yet.
Okay, fine. Okay. Yeah,
because to be fair, Everton have a good record against. I think they've beaten Arsenal the last 2 seasons at Goodison Park.
Yeah, but it is. Remember, we had a couple of bummy players, bro. Now we
also Everton are like. I mean, actually, I say that though, but they always turn. The thing with Everton is they always turn up when it's a performance. Like for example, they took points off City. They almost took points off United.
That's City's fault more than Everton, because City should have been 2-3-0 up.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So they always seem to praise
Everton. Yeah, but
that's true.
Yeah,
even last year they took points off us.
Last season
when we went to Goodison Park.
It's always on the bigger teams, like for example, Man United, Arsenal, Man City. For them to make sure they get 2 or 3 goals advantage, like in the first or second, at least by 60 or 70 minutes. If you concede a late minute goal and it ends up 1-1, that's your fault. Why you only up by 1? because those
Yeah.
are the
Yeah.
worst goal lines to always be up by.
Yeah. No.
But like, yeah,
Go
averaging
on,
away is
Luke.
not that. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. That's what I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah, especially with the way the
We just
fans
need to
are.
score goals.
Yeah.
That's it. Just score
Yeah.
goals. That's it.
Yeah. And it's always, and at the end of the day, it's always difficult when like you have like, if you have 11 people that don't give you space, compact defensive, aka like Newcastle were to a certain extent, Emirates, so and it's difficult to break them down. So, but yeah, AD, just give me your just sort of general thoughts on. Actually, so before I go to you, AD, let me just quickly read some comments, and I just want your just general thoughts on the game.
All right.
Let me have a look. So Don Smoke says all you have to do is draw, yet you all lose. United are better as underdogs, can't deal with the pressure and expectations. Don, you're absolutely right. However, what you need to understand is Manchester City cannot lose the league and lose the CL and go trophyless this season. That's what cannot happen. Cannot. You can't tell me
They can win the FA Cup though.
Exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. So they cannot go trophyless this season. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They can't, because if they go trophyless this season, then we'll have to have a conversation about certain people and certain receipts and various other conversations. So yeah, so that can't happen. Do you think Anthony is a waste of money? I can't say that yet. It's not. It's not had a full first season, but I do think
a merchant, man.
Sorry.
He's a Pulser merchant, man.
Yeah, I've got no doubt that United overpaid for him, and they wouldn't have overpaid for him had they actually told Ajax the beginning of the transfer window.
I think that's Fabrizio tax though as well, bro. Fabrizio had sats for that. Fabrizio, man. Think about it. RTS, this guy, look, he had an interview with him, bro, and he basically said his own price, and that's the price you matched.
That's true.
Yeah, but this is how
I don't know.
do
Part of me
things.
thinks that like that had United actually, because the thing is that like any competent board actually at the very least has an idea or converts to what your signs are going to be in preparation for a manager that's coming. Because they knew that Ten Hag was coming, and Ten Hag presumably knew, okay, these are the players that I want. I'm coming at Ajax. It shouldn't have been difficult to negotiate from the very beginning which players that were going to come with Ajax to Manchester United at all. Yet somehow Manchester United left it 3 weeks to the transfer window to get it sorted. But anyway, I'm not going to rant here. Garnacho helps City. Good 3 points today. Did Barca win today?
Yeah.
Barca.
Yeah.
The Rafinha actually turned up.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm confusing with Juventus getting scored. Sorry, it's
Oh wait, it's 2-1 now. To be fair to Juventus.
Oh wait, Juventus are ahead.
Yeah.
Juventus are now ahead.
Jeez,
Oh,
man,
DSC jinx, man.
Jinx is worse.
Okay, no, I'll say this.
Nah,
I'll say this. If Juventus somehow still get top 4 with 15-point deduction, you got to induct Serie A.
Yes,
it completely just inducts Serie A. No, I'm not. I can't take Serie A seriously for at least 5 years.
I mean, I would induct the whole league, but I would induct the teams that allowed it to happen.
That Roma, Lazio.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you can't like induct like Inter or like Milan.
Yeah, okay, fine. Unless they actually lose to Juve in their comments. But yeah, like I can't have a situation where Juve somehow after 15 points still somehow get top 4.
Don't stop though. That's the thing. There's more to come. There's going to be a salary run. Then there's going to be another one. So they could end up being in like the third league of Italy.
Guys, what if Juventus wins the Europa League?
Wait, you're telling me that like Juventus could go to like Serie C and be playing Champions League football? Is that basically what you're saying?
That'll be a first, man. That'll be a first. Imagine if they end up winning the Champions League and then the next season they'll be in Serie B playing in the Champions League.
No,
that would be too funny.
No, that would be that. I don't see it happening because I don't think Juventus. I don't even think Juventus are good enough to beat United or Barcelona. So, but we'll see what happens. The S&P says the incentive is more on City to beat Arsenal rather than Arsenal to beat City. I think H7 was saying City will open up and defensively haven't looked their best this season. That is true. Arsenal has a chance to beat City. And to be fair, I remember the game last season when Arsenal played City. I think it was at the Emirates. And Arsenal actually played well and should have won, but I think Bernardo Silva came clutch. I think once or twice. And I think
guess what? It wasn't Bernardo. It was actually Jesus. He got Gabriel sent off. That Edison done one nice long kick for him. He just
well, Rodri,
which nice turn.
Did you guys? Would you say Rodri came clutch too?
Yeah, but that's at the end because they've only had 2 shots on target. That was the penalty and that Rodri goal throughout the whole game.
Man.
We played.
And that penalty was harsh.
Well.
That was a harsh penalty.
It wasn't. It was a stupid mistake by Xhaka. He literally dragged the man down. Like, you don't touch players in the box like that and hold on to the shot. They'll go down.
Hey, Seven, don't you play them this weekend as well in the FA Cup?
Yeah, we're playing the FA Cup.
Yeah, so if you knock out Man City, I don't know what their frame of mind's going to be.
I think they're going to go strong, I think they're going to try to go strong for that game.
Yeah,
I think they're going to want to beat us for the Premier.
Please, Arsenal knock out City, man. I need to have a narrative where potentially City don't go trophyless this season. There has to be a least narrative where there's a narrative.
I mean, we're actually good at parking a bus, that's one thing people don't discuss. Wenger, as great as a manager is, he I don't know what thing how to say, like, he can never get his team off the ball playing very well. One thing Arteta has done, off the ball, we are a very good team. Like, we can literally, like, our shape is good. We can park a bus if we want to. Sometimes we're going down to 10 men, like that City game, we went down to 10 men, and they didn't have a shot on target up until the Rodrigo. For a whole half. Imagine that we were 10 men down and they never had a shot on target. And that was last season. So, defensively, we can always set up a nice low block. I think we could do that to City goal, because I think this game's going to be at the Etihad. We can play even a back 5 if we want to, and pack out the midfield and keep hitting them on the transition. Because I think we've actually got the best winger duos, like, and a group of wingers in the league right now.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think Arsenal, I don't think they'll play their strongest team in the FA Cup.
I think we will, bro. I think we will, because I think
they.
Well, because they have it's a week. If I remember.
Yeah, they don't. It's Carabao and Carabao's midweek, so they don't have any games.
Exactly. Yeah. So the next play on Friday, and I think Azim City the next play on Friday as well, unless they've got a rescheduled game. Let me just double check. Sorry, 2 seconds. The City playing. Yes, they do. Oh no, they don't. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you guys both play on Friday. It's just that I think, I know that's the week after. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you both have the same amount of rest. So yeah, I don't see why you guys both couldn't go strong. To be honest, because you've got a week off.
Because I know Arteta, man. He'll do the same thing as he's a master through deep, man. Pep's going to go strong. Arteta's going to go strong. The next game, they're both going to go strong. And then the other 3 games, they might start to rotate. Because throughout this whole season, they've been hardly rotating. I think we're the least rotated team in the league. So that just shows a sign of continuity.
Yeah.
So I'll just ask one last question and we'll bounce and we'll wrap this up. So
wait, RDS, sorry to interrupt.
Sorry, say that again, Eddie?
Yeah, can I get my overall thoughts on this match?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I completely. Eddie, your overall thoughts on the game? Sorry.
Yeah, I think this was a great game. One of the best games in the Premier League I've seen this season. What a game!
Yeah.
And
compared
I think for Manchester
United, compared to that, can we all agree that the Liverpool versus Chelsea game was
the battle of mid?
Terrorist football, man.
I think the Premier League should fine both them teams money.
Yeah,
because they put them on TV as well.
I think they 2 hours back, man. I wasted 2 hours watching that.
Man, to be honest, I don't think either team deserved a point. Both teams should have got 0 points.
Man.
It was. Yeah, but sorry, go on, Andy.
Yeah. Anyways, getting back to this game, it was a great game. Obviously, I think Arsenal, for me, they were amazing. You could see how much motivation they had. And for United, I think, obviously, I know you guys will be disappointed, but I don't think you guys should be that disappointed because you guys put up a really good game. And a lot of people said that, Arsenal would destroy United without Casemiro. And I just think it shows, like, you guys can still play without Casemiro. And even though, like, you guys were probably mad before the game that McTominay started, and I was surprised too, like, man, this could be bad. McTominay was actually really good today. He was actually pretty good. And then obviously that first goal was a great goal from Rashford. I don't know what Partey was doing there. And
Partey was back in Madrid at that goal. That was
and then obviously I think Wan-Bissaka was at fault for the nketiah goal, the first goal, I think, in the back post. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he was. like it was at Crystal Palace. I think no, it wasn't Palace. It was Manchester City.
Yeah,
Get done
Grealish
was
goal.
Grealish again. So,
Yeah.
although at least with that, I give him a little bit of leeway because like you saw that he had to mark Grealish
people.
and Haaland. So there was
Yeah.
two. So like, okay, I can kind of sort of this one. There was no excuse though. But sorry, go on. H7.
Yeah, and then obviously the second goal for Arsenal was a great goal from Saka. You know, if Rashford goal is great, this one was even better. Like that was a really great individual piece of goal. And the second goal, I think, was scored by Martinez. It was a good header. The Arsenal defense was kind of all over the place there in the corner. And then the third goal, man, Zinchenko winning that cross for nketiah. And for me, I was a little surprised. I was kind of surprised the goal was given because to me, it kind of looked a little offside. So
yeah, I don't know what picture because J2S you showed it in the group chat, and I was looking at it and I was like, because the frame that I saw that they showed on TV, I was like, okay, I can see why that he was onside. The frame you showed, I was like, yeah, it looks a bit offside to me. So I don't know what
looked a bit offside. I was just a bit confused, but they're going to give the benefit to attacker, so you know.
Exactly, yeah. And
yeah,
I think it's game management. So, but go on, AD.
Yeah, and then for me it was a good game from Arsenal. They showed a lot of character in this game. And yeah, for United, as I said, you guys were pretty good as well. It's just that I think you guys, I think Arsenal just wanted it more than you guys. I think that's the big difference. Yeah, and I think the last couple of minutes also kind of, I think you guys didn't handle the last couple of minutes very well because I think it was all Arsenal after the second goal for United. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, I'm sorry. There was a Rashford, I think. Then Tomiyasu made that block, I think. But I think afterwards it was all Arsenal, I think.
Fair enough. Thanks for your thoughts, AD. Anyone have any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Just got to focus on midweek now. And is it Nottingham Forest?
Yes, Nottingham Forest first leg, and then second leg. I think a week after, and then obviously Reading. Yeah. So United pick themselves up and come again. And as I think AD very summarized, I don't think it's disappointing, but considering where Manchester United were, I think it's still progress. But my goodness, man, United need new owners fast. United need new owners fast because even though you can say what about the Cronkies, they've clearly shown to me that they've at least tried to back Arteta, even though they've been outbid for some of these Chelsea players that they've stolen.
Chelsea's just putting in a market, man. You know what they've done? They've been doing this since 2004, man.
Yeah. They're Modric looks good to be fair. So shout out to him, but I've got no idea what Chelsea's.
He's gonna flop. He's gonna flop, man.
Yeah, I don't know what their strategy is, Chelsea. And to be honest, go on, AD.
Sorry, I'm sorry for interjecting. Why did Martinelli last that long? Why did he not to get taken off earlier,
bro? Is that Arteta thing? That same thing that you were talking about Ten Hag early on RDS. Arteta has that in him. It's Pep has that in him as well. I don't know where it is. Like they would only make an early sub if something massively is going wrong. Other than that, they don't like to make subs, man.
No.
But now he's got the option of bringing Trossard on or Trossard starting. So
yeah, because Martinelli was bad today, in my opinion.
But at the same time, AWB he will lock down most wingers in the league, man.
Yeah, he's probably got the best one-on-one defending.
Yeah, man.
No. Attacking wise, not there though.
No. Yeah, we do miss Dallo. But at the same time, Dallo sometimes can be caught.
Anthony misses Dallo.
See, Dallo and Wan-Bissaka are complete opposites.
Yeah,
they're complete opposites.
Can you guys give your man of the match for both teams if you haven't already?
So yeah, H7, you go for Arsenal.
I can't just. If you're talking about moments, because I can't really say overall game. It would have to be Rashford. Would you say moments, keeping you lot in the game, whatnot, that. For us, it had to be Saka. If I'm giving it to anyone, it would be Saka. Because Odegaard, it wasn't his best game. Eddie scored 2 goals, but yeah, it was the same. The moments he took well. So I can't really say overall it was one of his best games as well. So Saka overall, his whole package as a game today, I'll give it to him.
I would say as a United fan, I'd say I think for Manchester United, I agree. I think I'd probably give it to Rashford in terms of. Well, actually, no. I said a lie. I'd actually give it to the defense. Probably Lisandro actually, because I actually don't think United centre back. I know United conceded 3 goals, but I wouldn't say it was because of the centre backs. Actually, the centre backs did well today for Varane and Lisandro, and I think Lisandro obviously scoring that header, which actually I think was quite clever with the way they kind of sort of lifted it kind of over with the power was actually quite good. So I think Lisandro for me would be my man of the match just based on his defensive performance and obviously the goal. As far as Arsenal concerned, I actually give it to Nketiah, to be honest. I know there were moments, but this is a guy who a lot of people have given him a lot of criticism over the last year or so. Like even Arsenal fans, he's garbage, he's washed, not good enough, blah 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 blah. How can we? I'm sure I can go to AFTV and you'll hear people say, if you have Nketiah, how can you win the league? You know what I mean? And now he's scoring clutch goals. So I think the guy deserves a lot of credit for how he's turned things around. And now potentially you can win the league with Nketiah. So those are my two personally.
And we need Jesus back. I need to see Jesus back, man. Bro, but Jesus, hurry up, man.
I thought I was going to say Saka for Arsenal was one of the contenders for man of the match as well because he terrorised that left-hand side. Luke Shaw, that for good 75 minutes. Because the right side was...
That Flex was trying a lot of shit, man.
Yeah, that right side was... Martinelli was a bit iffy, but when Trossard came on, it was a bit different. But Saka... I underestimated Saka, from time ago. From last year, I think it was, because I thought he's never going to be that. But him and Rashford, future for England.
Yeah, I think there's a stat. Sorry to interrupt. I think Rashford and Saka. I think Saka scored in the last 3 games against United. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a threat. He is a threat. He's a threat. Final comment on Zimbi. RDS, is Ten Hag overperforming with this team? Because I personally don't rate a lot of these guys on the team, and today it kind of showed a bit. Oh, absolutely. Although that said, when you look at the signings that Ten Hag has brought, I'm not going to count Weghorst because it's just desperate. But the 4 things, he bought Anthony, we're still waiting to see what he does. Lisandro, I rate Lisandro Martinez. I think he's been fine. Malacia didn't play. You could make an argument. Would Malacia have been useful in this Arsenal game?
Nah, he would have been cooked. He would have got cooked, bro.
I have a thing. You're right. He would have been cooked. So, I mean, you can make a case. Should they have gone maybe left-sided centre back with Shaw Malacia at the left? That's a possibility because that's kind of worked. But this is ifs and buts and maybes. But he's been okay. And then what's the fourth? And then Eriksen. Again, been okay. But
you guys burnt him out, though.
He's burnt now. That's in part because we don't have many midfielders.
Yeah.
Pogba's gone. Van der Beek's now injured. So
hey, RDS.
Yeah, go on.
Pog back.
I can't have that.
This will be the first time he'll be unleashed.
8-7. I can't have witchcraft. I can't have witchcraft tax.
No, but this one will be beneficial to you lot. He put the judge on the opposition for United.
How do you know that? The man went to Juventus, got injured, has not played essential season, missed the World Cup, and now Juventus have got a 15-point deduction. It could be getting.
No, but that's how good he is, bro. That's how good he is. If he was fit, bro, World Cup, he would have been another 2-time World Cup winner. He would have been a 2-time World Cup winner. Juve was winning the Champions League.
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of I feel for him. I do. I don't have any beef with Pogba, but it's kind of you left United to win and compete with trophies, and now I don't know whether he meant trophies as in Serie B trophies, but there's Juve aren't competing for a CL or a title anytime soon, so it's almost in a sad way, it's okay, I know things at United didn't work out, but at least United seem to be going somewhere. Juventus are basically where Manchester United have been over the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, they're probably even a worse position as well.
Exactly. Because
how perfect it would have been the midfield with him, Eriksen, and Casemiro. It would have been a nice balance.
But I can't say you rejected a 400k a week contract to go back to Juve.
Because you know why, bro? Because think about now, it's been exposed the salaries and they'll pay him double of that probably. Bro. They'll probably give him 600 or 700k a week.
No,
they'll probably make 250k a week. Because they remember they were saying they were paying him less than what Man United offered, but I
But the
didn't
thing
believe
is-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, do you think Pogba will want to come back? Like, that's
No.
the thing.
No, not anymore. Like,
No.
he'd want to save face.
But I think
It's-
it's just sad because it's kind of like his logic was that I want to leave United I've got the rest of my career, I need to like achieve more. And it's like I felt like going to Juve is almost like going back to United 2 or 3 years ago. Because Juve aren't going to be challenging for a title anytime soon, from what I've seen.
Yeah, they will be, bro. The Serie C.
Well, so Serie C titles for Paul Pogba, man. You know what I mean? So, and then Champions League, obviously enough said. So it's sad. It's sad. Toki Beaver says Malacia shot down Mars and Salah. Put respect on him. Like I said, I think you could made a case that the Luke Shaw Malacia situation could potentially have worked against Arsenal. Potentially, I don't know.
Were you saying that instead of Martinez starting?
Yeah, instead of Martinez starting, you maybe play Luke
Bro.
Shaw's left side centre back and Malacia potentially.
I think that would have been bad news for you lot, bro. It would have been bad news for you lot if you done that, because Malacia wouldn't have been able to contain Saka, bro. He would not be. And Luke Shaw struggled with Saka himself today, bro. So that would have been double threat.
He did.
I'm telling you, Martinez was actually like played very well for you lot today, bro.
No,
Yeah,
he did.
He's got a black eye as well.
Yeah, man, that's mad.
Probably from all of that partying when he won the World Cup, S&B says Juventus might be worse. This isn't 2000 Serie A. This Juve rebuild will be harder than it looks. The money is not there. Well, again, Serie C titles. UEFA wants to take action against Juventus. They might get banned from UCL. A lot of these guys.
That'll be the best thing for them, though. Just reset, man. Reset your whole organization.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If you're saying Chiesa is free in the summer, there's a few guys that could, do bits.
You lot need a right winger as well, man. A proper right winger this time.
Exactly. Maybe we can convince Di Maria. Maybe 1 year, like, bro.
Nah.
He's got Lisandro. Though.
Nah, he cut ties. But it's not with you lot. It's with the city of Manchester.
Yeah.
Or Cheshire, wherever you call it, Cheshire, wherever the players live.
Right, guys, we gotta bounce. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. We'll be live again, probably with Carabao Cup sort of stuff. Shout out to Arsenal FC, man. Congrats on the win. Shout out to the panel and everyone in the chat. J2S, H7AD, and make sure you subscribe to AD's channel as well. By the way, he's got a lot of good content on there. So have a nice day, guys. Peace and cheers.
Yeah. Wait. One last thing. Are you doing United form tomorrow?
Possibly. If not, it'll probably be midweek.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Peace.